All right, hey everybody, we're back. Um, we're round two. We got Cody and Jason for round two, and Jason is playing Chaos Ascendant. So he's got all kinds of Chaos Gravelies. He's got some horned rats and a chain, like a Keeper of Secrets kind of thing, and then some Plague Bearers coming in. And then Cody is playing Night Haunts. We talked about his army just a little bit in the last one. So in this one, we are playing. What's the name of this one? Focal Points as the mission. So with Focal Points, what we're doing is you get 2 points for holding the center objective, 1 point for holding each corner objective, and then if you hold both corner objectives on your side of the table, or on the right side or the left side, you'll get 3 points. So you're going to want to control a side of the table, but not let your opponent control the other side of the table. So this one is going to be like a swirling melee to kind of control all of this. So the deployment is going to be table halves. So the table will be split clear down the middle long ways, and you'll be able to deploy table halves. So the action will get really quick on this one. So what scenario are we playing? We're playing Focal Points. So you get 2 points for holding the center objective, 1 point for each of the outside objectives, and then 3 points if you hold this objective and that objective, or that objective and that objective. Yeah, and then deployment is table halves.
You control mine, I control yours.
Is it up to 12 inches?
So
You can go anywhere on your side?
uh-huh.
That's horrifying.
Yeah, so the action really gets kicked off very fast. No. Table halves. So the table is literally split deployment zones right down the middle.
Yeah, here if you want. Look.
So, like I said to the viewers, it's really going to be a swirling thing because you want to hold 2 sides, but you don't want your opponent to hold 2 sides. Otherwise, you'll be basically tied out. So you're gonna. It's an interesting deployment style.
And roll for deployment.
So our players are going to start rolling off for deployment.
Ooh, fatty 6.
Jason rolls a 6, and Cody rolls a 5, so Jason gets to pick deployment, and he's going to deploy first. So we'll get to see his really snazzy army hit the table here. If Jason doesn't need that chair, I'm going to move it so I can walk behind him from time to time. All right.
So you can fly all the way up on the center line? That doesn't make sense.
We could be like, we could be here and here. As long as 9 inches from each other, correct?
I believe so.
Like
Hey, Brian.
we're gonna be fighting really early.
I think you gotta be outside of 9. This is updated already?
Yeah, that's 2019.
Don't you have to be outside of 9 all the time?
What?
So we're getting a rules clarification on deployment.
More than 9 outside. Okay. So yeah. I was like, that's crazy. You want an easy 9?
Yeah, that would be awesome. Hey, how much? I need that for my. So basically, you have it until 15 inches from your deployment.
Yeah, I did the center line and then got 9.
Yes,
So we're good.
Okay, so we were wrong. It's not table halves. You have to deploy outside of 9 inches from the center of the table.
I'm going here, you're going there.
But that still gives you 15 inches in the back of your deployment zone that you can play with. That allows for extremely aggressive deployment if you still want. Because like I said, the goal of this one is to get onto your opponent's side, control one of his objectives, and that way you can score maximum points. And just like the pink horrors in the last game, we have fun placing models on rocks.
He's gonna cast Spell Portal. Alright. So just these guys. He's the boon. Warriors. So it's a unit of 10. Yeah, unit of 10. 5 resolve, so it goes off.
No, this will be starting on 2 here.
So the round start time is officially 12:30.
Was that a character back there?
So we will be playing till 3 o'clock on this round. With 2.5-hour rounds.
Now these, if they roll 1 during battle shot, can bring guys back, but they don't like split.
So we got some more plague guys coming out. Cody's got his Morn goal out.
He's gonna cast a hit with chain. The portal. Boon it. Rolling good. There we go. Yeah, that's 10. That's 12. Can I be denied that way? I'm liking where this is. You take 6 mortal wounds.
Yeah, well, there's lots of line of sight blocking.
Yeah, you're. Okay. We never get that one. I do fly those. This is horrible.
Yeah, I mean, you'll be able to fly over the wall. It's just if he doesn't leave you any room to land over there, then
Which-
it's just like, you know, your wobbly model syndrome kind of thing. But
So now we got plague bearers in the lava castle over here.
yeah, and like I said, we'll have to figure out how to put weight on the bottom or on the top. Yeah, those are just because of those little nubs. You'll either have to sand those nubs down with like a Dremel or something.
Alright, so 3rd unit of plague bearers over here in the jail.
Alright.
Lava jail.
Okay, lava jail, lava castle, you know, we call it when we go.
That works too.
Sounds a little more thematic and dramatic.
The Chaos Dwarves torture pit.
Torture pit. That's may what it turns into once the ghosts get there.
Could be. These are spear hosts. Okay. How many more drops in? A few. He's gonna cast Firestorm. Goes off on a 12. It fizzles, there's no range.
So while they're deploying, we'll go ahead and go give you an update on the rest of the games that are going on. So our Moonclan Grots are playing the winner of the last round, and they are playing the Zeech on the grave site table. And then we will have Andre and his Flesh Eater Courts versus the Seraphon, and I believe they will be playing on the temple table. So everyone's playing the same scenario here, but we'll give you updates on those games as they kind of go here.
At the end of each turn, taking whatever model was slain on all the dice. So, example, I put in your gold.
So it looks like as deployment progresses here, we're both sides being pretty aggressive with their deployment right up on the line. They want to get in and get into combat as fast as possible.
But the thing, the wounds will still be in here, but the distance is within, anything within the 12-inch bubble can get this.
So we do have Kairos Fate Weaver up on the rock.
funny looking Kairos because he must have lopped off his other head or something.
They got bickering at each other and didn't want
His
the.
head fell in the base. They grabbed it with all those horns coming out. That's what you get for buying it cheap on eBay. You don't get the rest of the kit. We'll do the Vermin Lord Deceiver.
So there's one of the Vermin Lord.
Is that already up in the battalion that he's gonna deep strike?
You will have a choice.
We got a second big old rat to go on the table.
So your choice. You finish dropping first.
So Cody finished deployment first, so he's going to get to choose whether he wants to go first or not. When he is going to take first turn. So we are top of one, and the Night Haunt get the first turn.
Just go be outside the noise, mate.
Before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and spin my big points.
Did you have any spells to cast? I do, thank you. You're good.
So Cody's hero phase.
Take my shooting word of change.
It's the hardest part for me to remember in coming over to Age of Sigmar from 40k is that you cast your spells and stuff in the hero phase, not in the psychic phase, which is before the movement phase. Yeah, so in 40k you move, psychic, shoot, assault, and in Age of Sigmar you hero phase, move, shoot, assault.
I think it goes off on 6. Mystic Shield. But I mean, you rolled a 5, so I don't think it's added to it.
Yeah, that's about right.
Alright, if they were making it 8 to cast Mystic Shield, my god.
You'd never cast Mystic Shield again.
It's not bad, come on, what the hell?
15 hits.
You're good, you're good. And scoring purposes, like the 1, 1, 2, 3. Do I have to, after I touch this,
8
do I have to
wounds on him.
or, do I just touch it to claim it?
Once you hold it, you got it. Until I get it.
That's what I thought.
So yeah, as the players were discussing, Cody could move completely off of one of the objectives and it would still count as holding for him until the opponent claims the objective. So you don't have to leave somebody on it. That's another difference between Age of Sigmar and 40k. It's going. Looks like Cody is deep striking in some of his ghosts to go after that objective in the corner there to try to get back into that lava castle, lava jail, lava torture chamber that they were talking about earlier.
The lava torture chamber.
Chaos torture. One died.
Alright, got 2 more.
So I think we know what side of the table that Cody is interested in now.
What's the blade guy's revenant? No, 1 unit or 2?
That is 2.
So yeah, two 10-man units of the Blade Revenants.
He's now down, so I will use my command point ability to do his buff, which will give the unit within 18 inches of him 1 extra attack.
So Cody's spending a command point to give extra attack to those Blade Revenants. So he really wants to make that charge now while they're buffed up, while they're good to go. He's got 9-inch charges to get into there. He's got a Mourngul on the other side. So the Mourngul on the right side first.
I think you're definitely in. You're definitely in.
So that gets the Mourngul in.
And these guys, or who else you charging?
Do you have anything to modify my dice?
I might be able to.
Be like a 10-inch
Probably
charge.
need an 11
Fake dice?
or 10.
Automatically get it when I make?
I'm thinking 10. Yeah.
So Mourngul on the left side.
10s anyways.
So he rolls a 9, and the Mourngul doesn't make the charge.
They're not going to make it. They're fine. There's no way. 10-inch range.
Dragon.
I'm going to try with this.
So now the most exciting charge is going to see if the Blade Revenants can make their charge in.
They do
He
it.
makes it with an 11, so that is a very successful charge. He may even be able to get on the back side a little.
And because of that, I will get a free attack. Of course.
Oh, that.
They're right here, right?
No, he's not going to be able to get into the back side, but he's going to be able to get it wrapped around a little bit, about 2 inches on either side.
Yeah. Your whole army flies ethereal.
So yeah, so he's got the 1 squad of Blade Revenants in, but because of the tight confines of that castle, it is going to make a more difficult charge for his second one.
The charge just didn't get you very far in.
That's about it, I think. I do get to attack with him right now.
Right. Before the combat.
So before the combat phase, it looks like those Blade Revenants get a special attack.
Correct. Yep.
How many's in there? 2, 4,
I'm sorry, I was trying to watch your.
I got 6.
Yeah, so 6 of those guys are coming in. They got +1 attack because of the command point ability that he spent.
I was trying to block you, so you can't charge him.
and
But since you got fly.
no misses. They hit on 3.
So we're looking for 3s to hit. Sounds like he gets to reroll his misses as well.
I got you, bro.
Got a runaway die.
That was 1, not 5.
So, hit with that many.
You know, my counterpart to dragon is not like
3 with -1 rend.
So 3s to wound.
He's not fantastic. I mean,
Not the best to wound roll, but he's still got quite a few in there. So 8 at rend 1.
So it's gonna be 6 ups, and then they have a war scroll after save for a 5 ups, and then my allegiance ability will be 6 ups.
So it looks like they're going to get 3 saves.
let's go ahead and do my
So
chaos one.
Now I got the 5 up for their war scroll.
So they get a 6-up save and a 5-up war scroll save.
Save one more, and then I got 6 up for my allegiance.
And then a 6-up feel no pain here.
So 4.
So he.
Yeah.
So it looks like 4 of those guys are gonna die.
I'm gonna spend 2 5s.
Alright, so that was a combat before the combat phase actually starts. So he's gonna get to continue charging. It's going to be a very long charge for that second set of blade rasps to get in. But if he does roll a 10, because they fly, they can get over the rocks.
You'll be able to get like 1 in on a 10, but if you roll a 12, you'll be able to get like 2 or 3 in.
He's really looking for a 12. He rolled a 4, so that's not going to be a successful charge.
I got an 11.
So with an 11, his leader there will be able to get in. He rolls a 12, and that puts him in there. So that'll be good for him. The second group doesn't get to get in, but they'll be as a counter strike in case he takes some damage there, which I'm sure he will next turn, as a giant horned rat comes in and does some work.
So you're gonna pick him?
He has his own buff, so 3 is -1 raise.
I gotta attack you now.
So it looks like he's got 4 wounds in at -1 rend.
So we'll be at 6s.
He needed 6-up saves and he didn't get any. Now he's got his 5-up saves. He saves 2 of those, and he needs his last 6-up save for none. So he takes 2.
You take 4.
Oh. Well, I saved on 2 each. Okay, so I needed to roll more than that.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
So I saved 2, so I'm definitely taking 2.
You'll roll 2 more.
It's 4.
Yeah, because a couple of those are feel no pain, so we did a couple of things.
So 5 ups. 1 and then 6 ups. So they take 5 overall.
So he's going to take 5 wounds, actually. So that is going to wipe out the Plague Bearer squad. Or leave it with 1 remaining.
He still has his ghostly boot.
So my P4 is now.
That's much harder to get. 4 and 5 is what that hits.
So he does hit with his last attack.
That's 1 damage and no rend.
So,
Not terribly hard to hit.
You said 1? So no rend. 5 ups. 5 ups.
Basically, the funny part about it is,
so with the ridiculous amount of saves that the Plague Bearers had, he ends up with 1 left at the end of all that combat.
I think you already rolled for that guy.
oh, did I?
Yeah.
You're right. I'm sorry.
No, you're good, bro. You're good. No problem.
I do believe that's it.
So that was it for the charges, and now he's in the combat phase.
Can I pile in?
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
I would like to pile these guys in.
So now he's going to go ahead and continue to wrap up that sorcerer. We got lots of pointy, spiky
2
bits.
into the Plague Bear and 4 into the...
He's going to want to pile in his dudes in the back there as much as he can to get them in cohesions.
Well, isn't he here? The Knight of Shrouds, he was like right here. Right.
I'm just trying to squeeze.
So
So he'll still be able to get his attack. I'm not attacking him. I think that's like this. Yeah. How many is that? 2, 4, 6.
So now with his actual attacks,
What's the range on this guy?
I thought it was 2.
Yeah, so, well, yeah, and the way you piled these in, like, this guy was here. So, like, did you pile in over him? Like, are you going to sacrifice this? Because that's...
I don't think you're gonna actually.
Like, because you're gonna have to sacrifice one side of that if you pile it like that. I mean, I'm fine with you doing it, but it's up to you.
No, I don't actually.
But I mean, you're only losing one guy, but I mean, if you don't want to throw one away.
Cohesion.
Yeah.
It might be worth it to get the kill, but
I'm gonna go for the 5.
Okay.
No penalty now.
so the intricacies of close combat and piling in, and then unit cohesion becoming an issue here. Trying to maximize attacks while keeping your guys safe can be an issue.
And it's only within.
It has to be wholly within 6 inches of the board edge, but outside of 9 inches of anything on your side. Like I said, you're gonna have a claw that's like that. So as long as this would be fine because you would assume that that was 9 inches. There wouldn't have been all 40 of those.
So he's getting a whole handful of attacks there, hitting. See if he can get some wounds down. And Sorcerer is taking a beating. So 11 wounds to the Sorcerer here. So with Rend 1,
No, I know, but it
Through save, so you just got 6s, unless I get incredibly lucky here.
so he needs to roll 6s on his 11 wounds. He saves 2 of them, but that is not enough.
Alright, and then I'm going to take my pile in over here. Okay.
So Cody sweeps that objective. And now we're going to have some Plague Bearers pile in on the Morn Goal on the right side of the table. This Morn Goal is going to be almost completely surrounded by Plague Bearers now. But if I remember my AOS right, Plague Bearers don't hit super hard, Morn Goals do, but Plague Bearers, as we've seen, are relatively resilient, so they can take a beating.
So 8. And the leader. And 4s and 3s. And you're -1 to hit, right? So 5 and 3.
So look for 5s to hit. Manages to get 1, 3s to wound, no wounds.
You're up.
Okay. Yeah, well, you scored the beginning. This is my turn. You already scored that. I may not actually have this.
Yep.
So his knight back into the lava castle is going to try to wipe out that last Plague Bearer.
3 and 3.
9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2.
Leaving nothing to chance for morale.
Yep, I got it.
So 6s?
If you have both of them, it's 3 points, right?
Nope. So 2 damage each, you said?
Excuse me?
3
5?
points, you have
If you have both ones, it's
So I got 3, 4, 5,
1 and 6.
So it's 6 to 3.
So he takes 3 wounds and is out. So Cody does sweep that objective.
Correct.
And now his Morn Goal gets to fight.
I was say, is that the only one? Yeah, okay. Then I was thinking if there's
So 8 attacks from the Morn Goal. So he needs 3s to hit, 3s to wound, -1 rend, and these are 2 damage each. So he has a... So 6s do mortal wounds, so he's got 2 mortal wounds.
Say 3 and 6 ups for the illusions.
And he doesn't save any of them, so he's got...
No, I say 3.
Oh, he saved 3 of them, sorry.
Right. That's why I rolled 4. See, I rolled 3 5s, and then I rolled for the 6.
So he does let 1 mortal wound go through.
Sorry, I'm just... They're really, like, for me, I play this army a lot.
Alright, so you save for 2, you need to save for 4 more. Because these are
Alright, and 1 ring?
Minus 1 ring.
Okay. 6s? You said 2 more or 4 more?
Before.
Well, but when it goes through, right? These 2 wounds? Right.
Yeah,
So I get a
so-
save against those and it doesn't do the damage yet.
Right.
So 6s?
Yep.
Now
So
it'll
he
be
doesn't
4
save
damage.
those, and
So
now
we'll
it's
go to
4
5s.
damage.
No.
Doesn't
And we'll
say.
go to 6s.
So he saves 1, so he takes 3 damage off of that, so that's 3 leg bearers out.
He wasn't hurt at all, was he?
Who?
I would've got those
We
points.
didn't.
No, he didn't take any damage.
They would've kept you from over.
Because if he kills him off, he heals D3.
Right. You're going to them.
I do believe that's it. It's my turn. I think you are not.
Alright, so you get 1, 2,
You actually, so
3,
that
4.
little spacer I had over.
Are you on that one?
This
Yeah,
one?
you guys-
Because these guys are up here, right? In a straight line? Are these on here?
They're supposed to be, yeah.
Okay.
Like, I made yeah, they're go ahead.
Okay, so Cody gets 2 points for holding the center
So
objective.
we'll be up to 6.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep.
So Cody takes 6 points at the top of round 1.
Alright. First. I'll skip a spell with him to summon 10.
What are you summoning? Oh, your big forward.
There you go. That's why the spacer's there. There you go.
Little thing with nasty.
Those guys.
I didn't expect you to get 2 10s there. That's kind of unfortunate we'll lose the other one.
Oh, big line. They got all got to be 3 inch away. So I'm just going to put in the back of the move there because.
Alright, so Cody is up 6-0 at the bottom of round 1.
The little bit difference in the response catch on every.
Oh, dude, I was playing Sylvaneth versus Nighthawk the other day. That is terrifying. Alright,
So now Jason's going to go, and
so.
we'll see if Chaos Ascendant can...
No, yeah, it's one of his 2 spell casts.
You didn't have to roll for that to happen.
No, it's just on his force roll.
That's pretty nifty.
Yeah. So we're gonna go for his spell. So I believe it's on a 7.
Alright, so it looks like he's cast a spell. He's going to do some mortal wounds to his guys in the back over there on the right side of the table.
5 more wounds to Blade Ghost.
Oh, so he does 5 mortal wounds to the blade drafts in the bunker. I was mistaken, on this left side of the table.
Not a 1.
How many wounds did you guys drop?
Yeah, you only have one.
Minus 2.
Okay.
So basically,
And it's done during the hero phase too.
So Kairos is gonna try and cast his War Scroll spell. And are you familiar with how Kairos is casting?
minus 2 outside.
Okay.
I've never seen him.
So when he rolls, the 2 dice, he matches his lowest die to the highest die. So this goes off on an 8, and it's gonna do 6 straight mortal wounds.
Okay.
So Just not go off.
So yeah, he needed an 8. He rolled a 4, so
Now we're gonna cast.
that would have done a lot of mortal wounds.
Now we're gonna cast from him. We're gonna try to cast with his second spell the Darkfire Demon.
No, this is the second. Sorry, this the start around. You might have used it. We just.
So this is gonna go off. I leave all 6.
So he needs a 6. He gets it, so his little Darkfire spell goes off, and it's going to go inside the little cave there.
No, I can't capture objective. Okay. But it counts. It's going to be D3 mortal wounds to everything it passes over. It ends within an inch of, so these 2 units. And then it's going to be D3 mortal wounds plus 1 wizard or endless within 12 inches of this. So 1. These are wizards. That's a wizard 3. 4. So it's going to do D3 plus 4 mortal wounds to each unit.
Yeah, so we saw this spell on the last stream, so
4 to the blade rush.
3 plus 4 mortal wounds.
So 5 mortal wounds to them.
So now we got 5 mortal wounds that Cody has to save with his Feel No Pain.
Save 2. Okay, so 3 mortal wounds to them.
So they take 3. So that'll be 3 of them gone.
And then Knight of Shroud is taking D3 plus 4 mortal wounds. 6.
So he takes 6 mortal wounds to his Shroud. So this could kill him if he doesn't get good with his saves. Looks like he does get 1. That's 5 mortal wounds. So it looks like he's got 1 wound remaining. So that was a brutal spell for that objective. Now Cody is probably feeling very lucky that his other blades did not make that charge. Otherwise they probably would have been in range of that spell as well.
He's going to cast. He's going to cast Arcane Bolt for his second spell. So it goes off on a 9. It's going to do 1 mortal wound.
So the Arcane Bolt finishes off the Night Shroud, so
We're going to do the Pink War Scroll spell, which gives him +1 to hit. I believe it.
So the pink cores are attempting to get +1 to hit. He rolled a 6 for the spell,
Yeah, it goes off on 6.
and it goes off on a 6. So he does get +1 to hit on his pink horrors.
And then the last thing I'm going to do is once per hero phase, I get to unbind an endless spell, so I'm going to unbind that right there.
Yep, he has an artifact.
Yeah, the artifact that basically healing it.
And then Kairos reabsorbs the Endless spell.
He has an artifact too.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
He doesn't want Cody taking control
He
of
lost the turn roll, and I went first. And
his Endless spell, just in case. It's a safety precaution. It's not likely that Cody would be able to take it over, but it's one of those things that you just never know. So So it looks like that horned rat wants to join the fray against that Morngol over there. He's moving over there. So that must be the end of the hero phase for Jason. We're moving into the movement phase. Plague Bearers are running in the middle of the table here. So they get a 6-inch move. Trying to contest the center objective that is worth 2 points. Looks like Looks like he's not going to be able to make it with that 6-inch move. So Cody will retain that for next turn for if he gets to go first.
He's got 16-inch move.
So we got a sorcerer going over to join the horned rat.
And
How much damage apiece?
And the pink horrors look like they may want to jump a wall and go after that objective.
So 3 hits minus 2. I'd say none of them.
yeah, sorry.
No, you're good.
8, 7 wounds.
Any red?
Minus 1.
Alright, and how much damage? Roll 2d6.
Well, there went my backup. Side attack is up. You get to choose 3. This one. Yeah, side of 3. Throw.
Full mount.
And go right there.
And Kairos has fallen back. Looks like he's going to want a part of this action on that side of the table as well.
Keep on swinging. Ball in the chain.
Really, you're making a point.
6.
And I really think he's making a smart move here because he does not want Cody to have both primary objective there and score an additional 3 points on him next turn. So he really wants to take that objective away from Cody as fast as possible. Otherwise, he can really run away with the points here if he's not careful.
So that's 9 guys in melee.
Minus 2 here.
They all have clubs, not spears and clubs. Okay.
Yeah, we'll go from Kairos. So on a 10 up, I get to summon a unit of 10 pink horrors. So on 12.
So Kairos has now summoned a squad of pink horrors back in here next to the horned rat. They're going to want to try to get in there.
He was just admiring your handy work.
Awesome. Let's go here.
Because of the alpha.
2.
4, 3.
So to win on 5.
1, 2, 3.
That's 1 hit. No range, 1 damage. Alright.
3 is the wound.
No red, 1 damage.
Alright, so there's a squad of 10 pink horrors.
Oh, cool. Yes, okay, I did see that.
So we need a 5.
I only do 1.
The corruptor. Or actually, no, we can
No.
shoot.
Oh, you can mark it.
The corruptor. I believe it's 4 attacks.
So now we're moving to shooting. So it looks like
But has he done 1 more damage?
he's got a couple shooting attacks he want to be able to do.
So 2 and 1 damage each.
My thing put over here.
2 damage. Looks like Cody takes a couple here. So he takes
Don't
1.
get the 6 though, because no one's over your god. You're right, he's dead.
So,
Just 1 dies.
so he's got 1 more of his blade guys down.
So 3 attacks, 5s, and 4s on him. 4 and 2. No. And then we got
2 on
So his other rat's gonna do some shooting as
we
well.
got the Doom Star, and that hits on a 3. And wounds on a 3. 4, 5 up. Wow. And that'll be D3 damage if he goes through on this more goal.
So got a potential for D3 damage.
Oh, crap, he has that -1. Is that just melee or is it all the time? I rolled a 6 to hit, but just to check.
6 inches.
Yeah, I mean, he still would have been fine because I rolled 6 to hit, but yeah. That's good.
I need to know anyway.
Yeah, me too.
Save 1.
It was only 1. It was only 1. Oh. Yeah, just roll 1. You're good, man. Alright, so D3 damage. And then we got the prehensile tails. 3s. Or 4s now, because -1 hit. 3s. So 1 for 1 damage on the morning goal. So he's taking 3 so far?
Yeah, he's down to 7.
Morngul has 7 wounds remaining.
I'm going to choose. So we're gonna need a 6 to charge on the corruptor.
So now we're moving to the charge phase. It's a 5-inch charge when he needed a 6. Has to spend a command point to reroll, and he makes a 9-inch charge. So he will be able to get on in there.
And then we need, I believe, 3.
So now he's going to charge the Morngul on the other side. Needs a 3, and he makes it.
So that is 6.
So now you got the big monsters duking it out on the right side of the table, and 1 lone blade rasp on that side.
We'll start with the deceiver. Okay. So he's got 6 attacks.
So smartly, he's going to attack the Morngul first.
Two. And wounds on 2s.
Oh, and double 1s, so he doesn't actually get any wounds through on the Morngul. And so the Morngul is going to fight back, which is a good move, because he doesn't want those plague bearers hitting him before he gets a chance to attack, just in case it would degrade his profile. Because that 1 blade rasp is probably not going to do a whole lot to that big horned rat, so a deceiver, I think is what he's been called.
So 2 mortals, right?
Yep, 2 mortals.
So I'll have 5 ups because protection of the horn rat. Save 1, and then I got 6 up for the allegiance. No, so it takes 1.
So he takes 1 mortal wound off the bat.
2, 4, 6.
So he takes 6 damage.
11. 6 wounds?
Yep, 6 wounds.
So 1 rend, right?
Yep.
5 up. Save 1. And 10 damage, right? And we got 5 ups from protection of the horn rat.
So this is going to be 5 ups.
Save 3 more, and then we got 6 ups from the allegiance.
6 ups on these.
Woo!
Saves 3 more.
Takes 4.
He only takes 4 damage out of that, which is really impressive survivability from that massive hit.
Or he killed
more
one.
than 9 wounds, right?
At the end of the battle round.
Okay.
He has to fully live through the end of the battle round, and then he gets to heal D3 mortal wounds if he killed 18 or a model.
So this turn you wouldn't because you didn't kill anybody.
Yeah, his wound characteristic.
I'll take the corruptor.
Well, I guess that was my
Started with
attacking the little guys.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, it's fine.
No, we can re-roll it. It's cool. We had 10 damage.
It's really my own fault.
No. Did you mean to attack the little guys? I
Yeah.
thought you were attacking the big guys.
No, I wanted to attack the
Oh,
little
okay. Oh, we can redo it. It's all good.
I needed to heal him.
Yeah, you got 6 in, right?
I'm sorry.
No, you're good, brother. You're good. 6?
All right, so we're kind
So
of
they have 5-up save goes to a 6-up save.
so we're re-rolling the damage here because
So
we
that all goes through.
rolled
and
it on the
that'll
wrong
be
person.
12 this time. 10,
Start off,
12.
we're gonna cast.
So we got 5 ups because of their war scroll after save.
I'm gonna spend my can points on Peggy. The every sorcerer within 4 inches of him plus 1 cast.
And then 6 ups for the allegiance.
He falls over.
On him, give him plus 1 cast.
6 go through.
So now we've done 6 wounds to the plague bearers. So
No, you're good. You're good, brother. It's not a big problem, man.
so that actually wipes out the last of the plague bearers, but more importantly, it gives Cody the kill, so he can now heal D3 mortal wounds at the end, or D3 wounds at the end of the round.
We got the corruptor against the
So Cody's just gonna remove the blade rasp because he was gonna get murdered.
That's the end of combat, correct? Correct. So he heals D3 more wounds.
Right.
Got a 6.
So you're up to 9.
Up to 9.
So I'll just have the shoot. So I'll get shoot.
So Jason is gonna score 2 points for holding his 2 objectives since they were 1 point apiece.
6-2, right? I get points.
No, not at the end of that.
Alright, so roll for turn. Got it. Yep. Okay.
I've got somebody on the bottom. I just have to.
Use pennies, man. Put some pennies to the bottom. That's what a dude did with a bunch of my orders.
All right, so we're the top of round 2, and Cody is in the lead 6-2. And Cody has gotten the initiative again, so he will take the first turn.
Okay, cool. Yeah, just measure right from where you were.
24 inches. So
Yeah, you're good.
I'm gonna try to Mystic Shield him.
Okay, cool. I'll try to move behind it with him. You got it.
So Mystic Shield's been cast on the Morngull.
Well, I have a tile somewhere, but there it is. Okay. Still moving.
And if I let go of the model, it's
There is, and then
So keeping the initiative on this has really helped Cody, I believe, because he already had a points lead, and this will allow him to maintain a good points lead regardless of losing the objective to the rat. So he may not.
We know where the objective is.
So he may not be able to get his 3 points back, but he actually has a really good chance at getting his 3 points back. So, because that Morngull and those blades should be able to do a decent amount of damage to that rat, even though he is so survivable. How many wounds does the Deceiver rat have? 12 wounds. So, with all his saves that, he may survive that hit. In fact, he's got a decent chance at it. So, 50-50 says that Cody could get that objective back. And if he does, that's a dramatic points increase for Cody. And that would put Jason playing from behind even more. So this will be a big combat, I believe. In my experience, turn 2 in most Age of Sigmar games is really the defining moment for the armies. You really can kind of tell win or loss in a lot of games by the bottom of 2. Now, we didn't see a double turn on this one, which is a feature of Age of Sigmar that is Highly controversial, but still very fun. So the chain rasps are going to try to charge the rat on the right side of the table. So he rolled a 7-inch charge. I don't think he's going to be able to make it in.
Yeah, that's within a half inch, brother.
It would, wouldn't it?
Yeah, you're only gonna be able to get like 2 guys in over there, cause you gotta move them directly 7.
Yeah.
So like, you might want to take them off the movement tray at this point, so you can get them in as many as you can.
So it looks like he's only going to get about 2 chain rasps in, but with the pile in, he should be able to get a couple guys into combat. So it shouldn't be too terrible bad.
I'll only have like 2 or 3 in probably.
But
they're on 25 mil, so they can attack double ranks, so you can probably get like 6 or so.
so it's going to allow him to get a couple of attacks in.
Well, that'd probably be it.
Yeah, I guess that's it.
But you can move them all up in like a little.
There's no
Yeah, I mean, if it's 12 or less. And we got 9 here.
So he's got a 9-inch charge for his second round of chain rasps. With a good roll, he could get quite a few more attacks in here. So with a 7-inch roll, he doesn't make them in.
I guess we'll charge with them now. 9?
So he's going to be able to get that big squad into combat with the plague bearers in the middle, which will basically secure him that objective if he can wipe them out.
I'm still going to attempt to charge with the
And he rolls a 12 when he needed an 8, so he's going to be able to get a substantial amount of them into combat. And again, the tight confines of this are going to define how he wants to pile those in.
We're going to go ahead and do the big dip.
Yeah, he's gonna try and
And we cast it if it goes off with an 11. You try to knock one, get any knock left.
Needs to take more moves. Actually.
Alright, so
4.
So they get their special attack as well, where they get to attack before the actual combat round, which is a brutal ability. Does not allow a lot of response.
So 4 mortals. So against the mortals, we have 5 ups and 5 ups.
So there's 4 mortal wounds on the impact.
So say 2 on the initial one, and then 5 ups again. So take
He ends up taking 1 mortal wound there.
So you wounded with them too? So that's gonna have no rend?
No rend.
4 ups. And then 5 ups.
So many chances.
5 ups. Oh, I'll read them out.
He's got 2 points right
It
now.
takes 1 more.
So he does take 1 more wound.
What does it take? 10.
That's reasonable.
What did you
But he's he already scored to me.
Well, no, you're at the middle.
Yeah, you're definitely in. You can go all the way to here if you want. Just depends on what you want to do.
Will have scored. It will help these two. Now he can move off.
So now the Mourngul makes the charge.
He will score at least
didn't do it.
You got room for a couple.
Or do I want to charge?
Here.
Yeah, you got some. Yeah, there we go.
Just put that underneath his base. There we go. So now he's deciding whether he wants to get his blade guys into the rat or if he wants to go for the horrors. I don't think he can make. Well, he can make it into the horrors with a couple if he wants.
Or you can get like 2 guys in.
Looks like he's only going to get a couple guys into combat either way.
Can you go through the horse?
So he's gonna.
Walk right up into him.
So he's just gonna shift them down.
It'd be about right here.
Yeah, that's holding your horned rat up. So or your Mongol.
I guess that's different charges. Mongol's gonna attack first.
So the Mongol's gonna hit the rat first. So he takes 2 mortals to start with.
And 5.
9 dice. 3 plus 6 mortal. He's gonna target the unit right.
There's only 1 6 there. You're right.
So he takes the 2 mortal wounds. Takes him down to 8 wounds.
So 6 mortal wounds.
And then the rest of the attacks.
5 ups. 1 and 2 damage, right? 5 ups. And 5 ups.
And this lure changes.
So he takes 2 more damage from the attack.
I'll take the corruptor into your spirit host.
So now that corruptor, the big rat that he just attacked with the Mongol, is going to attack the spirit host.
Well, I had.
So we got 8 attacks. So 8 attacks, and so these are ones they hit on 3s, wound on 3s, but on the hits, 5 ups are D3 mortals, and 6 ups are D3 plus 1.
So this is going to be a rough attack.
No, it's not.
Ooh, and lots of 1s and 2s.
3s. Woo.
1.
So one damage.
Damage goes through. That is not a lot.
Is that a 2?
Yeah, you got it. And it's your turn.
So at 3 wounds each, they are still on 2 wounds. So that was a very good
that was fortunate.
for Cody, and just super unfortunate that he wasn't able to do any damage there.
Yeah. 2. Alright, and we got 5 ups. And 6 ups. So save both of the mortals.
So the mortal wounds get saved.
5. And -1.
So 5 more attacks.
Alright, save 3. And then it's 2 damage each, right? So then we got 5 ups. And 6 ups.
So he takes 3 damage over there on the right side of the table. So Chaos is taking the hit here. We'll see if he can deal it back.
How many wounds does Mongol have left?
I'm gonna pump my attacks into these guys.
So the
Are you attacking with him or these guys? I didn't see.
No, this guy.
yeah, so the horned rat is going to take the chain rasps instead of going after the Mongol, hoping to get some kills there. Because the chain rasps are on the objective, and he doesn't want him on that objective.
So 4 hits and 2, or no, it'll be 4 now. 3's going. So all wound.
So 4 wounds to the chain
Don't
rasp.
save them, it'll be D3 damage each.
So these are D3 damage each if he doesn't save.
And then go on against somebody that has 4 up.
Three go through.
They're
It's 7 on 4.
Chain rasp? You might want to check that.
5 up saves on chain rasp.
Sorry.
So 3 go through.
Yeah, 3
so
go through.
3d3.
so 3d3 damage to the chain rasps.
So 8.
So 8 damage to the chain rasps.
I can try to.
Yep. Are you within 12? Yeah, I think so.
I believe so.
Yeah, from this guy? Yep.
So he does get a feel no pain because he's within 12 of it. And he takes 8 damage. So that is going to be rough, but he didn't kill him off the objective totally. So there is that.
They lost their sorcerer.
One of the things up there is
Ability.
wobbly model. So you can hit 'em.
But I'm going to have to ask an expert on how contested objectives work. I think Chaos still holds that objective securely.
All that.
But Cody may have the objective over here on the left side of the board because he does outnumber him considerably here. So Cody may still be able to hold on to his lead on that side. Alright, now we're doing the center combat.
No, we're doing it. He's over
Right?
there doing things.
Oh.
I'm measuring some other stuff.
Okay, so we're back over on the left side of the board. Combats are swinging side to side here. That is a solid amount of mortals.
Alright, so we got 5 ups. So save 4. And 5 ups. So take 2. I'm done.
So 2 mortal wounds brings that rat down to 4 wounds.
3 more.
And then 3 more attacks go through.
4 ups.
1 wound, no run. 2 damage.
5 ups. And 5 ups.
You have more than 7 wounds.
So nothing goes through on those. Chaos's resilience is showing up really big there.
Well, he has his regular one, because those are regular attacks, not mortals. Right. So he gets his regular save, his protection, the learn rat save, and then the allegiance.
Okay.
2 wounds, minus 1. Still need 4.
I trust you.
Yeah, no, it's totally how it works, bro. You're doing good here.
You would have made with minus 1.
I guess you're up now.
Alright,
Or to
I
change
think my only
stat of your guys in combat there.
If he dies, I got it.
5.
Okay, 3 hits. That's what I got. 3 hits. 2 go through.
is this all 2 different?
So 1.
Or 9 attacks.
So only 2 go through. 3 hits.
You have a 1 on the save right now. Yeah.
One of the things that Brian and I have been talking about is just how they really
No, Whirling Death is the retreat.
All right, so
Whirling Death is the retreat first, so it's 2 attacks apiece. There's 2
so now we've got his blade guys hitting the pink horrors now, right? Is that what we're seeing?
Yeah, blade guys in the pink.
Freeze blue.
Charge phase.
Out of all the attacks, the first one didn't do anything.
Blue board is gonna charge in 2.
Heyo.
The third guy didn't do anything. But
Here's where I need all your ones.
That wasn't ones?
It's like, oh.
Are twos good too for me?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So 6 minus 1.
So 6.
So that's gonna go through their regular 6-up save. But they have a 6-up after save for being pink horse.
Of course they do.
So save 2, and then 6-up allegiance save, because they're not all within either. So 4 die.
I'm okay with that.
So 4 pink horrors die. That's gonna give us, I'm sure, 8 blue horrors are gonna come onto the table.
When I kill the blue horse, they just turn back into pink horse,
They
right?
turn into brimstone hordes.
I've never heard of that one.
They look like little flames.
Like, they're getting worse each time they...
Yes and no. They have more shots when they're pinks, but they have more melee when they're. They have more melee when they're brims.
Those things
Did he just ask if blue horse turn back into pink horse when they die?
That'd be great.
That'd just be like an endless cycle.
Oh god, that'd be sick.
I've never
1,000 points each.
I've never fought these guys.
Alright, so that's over there.
They're already a never-ending cycle of awful.
They're terrible. They're good for him, but it's terrible. Hello, Philip.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
This is Noah. Or the one that went missing.
Let's do the
So now we got some chain rasps getting ready to hit. So he's gonna get to hit back in the middle.
So 36 attacks. Right? Or does your leader get one more? Yes, 37 attacks.
So 37 attacks on some plague bearers. That is a lot of dice.
Huh? After this turn, I'll get 6 and 8 more. So I get 14 to 3.
I have 35.
Sure.
That's cool. You can just roll 35 and then roll 2 more. Or you can borrow some. You want some of mine? Mine are pretty loyal though.
Well,
I'm gonna have to roll this separately because I'm not.
Oh, that's cool.
I can't hold 36 dice.
Everything.
I don't even know what the hit on. It's probably terrible.
I think it's 5.
Oh, 4 and 4. 4 is cool.
Okay.
No, not at all. I reroll 1.
Roger that.
So 4s and 4s, rerolling 1s. Looks like he's gonna have a couple 1s
Oh, thank you.
to reroll.
You deserve this win just for putting it on the crap.
No, man. You gotta learn somehow.
Oh yeah. The little shooting didn't do much.
Okay.
Like I had 2 before shoot at this big guy here that did like 3 moves to him.
You can reroll that cock one if you want.
Hey,
Pink horrors are a big
Yeah.
distraction in front of us. They're in your face and they come to you. They're important.
4.
Fought him with plague
If
bears.
I went first and watched my space, I couldn't, I had to eat through. And also, they're not that mobile.
That's
so I
it
can
for
do
him.
it. There's some weaknesses to them. There's definitely tough.
Alright, so now we're going for 4s to wound.
Spell, you gotta kill the spell.
Alright.
That's it.
So,
2, 4, 6, 8.
So it gets 8 wounds against the plague bearers with the chain rasps.
So, no rend, right?
Yep, no range. 1 damage.
Alright, so they're going to have a 5-up regular save.
So 5-up save.
Save 2. And then they have a 5-up after save for disgustingly resilient.
A 5-up feel no pain.
Save 1 more, and then they're going to have a 6-up save for allegiance ability.
6-up.
So save 1 more, so 4 guys down.
So 4 plague bearers down.
4 damage.
I saw him pull both of them off at the same time. I knew something happened.
And then just those guys are left, correct?
Yeah,
And then
those
Cody's got
chain
2
rasps.
more chain rasps left over there.
But you have to get to him first. That's
There you go, there you go.
So 3 more wounds or hits. And 2 wounds.
Sorry, 1.
1? Okay. 4 up? 5 up?
He's within 6 inches.
Well, he also never uses the mush and the.
What?
I'm hitting him, so.
No, I'm doing my saves for your attack you just did. So I save on 6.
More spells than that.
So, yeah. So no wounds to the rat there.
Yeah, I don't have any attacks left. I already did all that. So we should be good on combat now.
So that's the end of Cody's combat. So
Did you attack him? No, yeah, you attacked him. You didn't kill anybody, so you don't get to heal him. These guys have a 10-up bravery and -1 because they're within 3 inches of you in your night hunt, right? So they're down to 9. They lost 4. So they're good.
It's a brutal army.
These guys are at 10. Down to 9, and they lost 4 as well.
So you need to get like a 1.
I'm going to use Kairos' once per game ability to change the die to whatever I want. So I'm going to do a 1 on them. When you roll a 1 with these guys, you get to roll d6 and add that many pink quarters back to the unit. So 5.
alright, so we got Kairos' ability. He made himself roll a 1 so that he could add d6 pink horrors back to the squad. So now he got 5 pink horrors back. But coming to the end of Cody's round, it looks like he's going to score 1, 2. So Cody scores an additional 6 points, and we go to the bottom of round 2.
And that's the thing, on 4-up steals more. You have to do battle track for them. They don't
you're right. So I believe I have to get a
8 minus, you're 10 minus 8, so you're 2, so any, like 3 or higher or something.
That's the reason I didn't do sports first.
So there you go.
That's the one that's a very, if you had deep spec capability, sports first, very unfair.
Alright.
dead be scared. Come on.
So we're gonna try his war scroll spell. Let's not go off. We're gonna do Kairos.
You've got so many spells. Oh yeah, so many spells.
9.
This goes off on 8. Doesn't go off. And
So far his dice are.
we're gonna do Arcane Bolt with him. So that goes off on an 8, and we'll just forget these dudes for immortal.
Take 2 mortal wounds. Only 1 mortal wound.
Yeah.
And the dragon on the right is gonna pay.
So just yours still, so you're actually earning 3 points.
All this is.
Okay. So,
Yeah, I'm gaining 6 points for.
gotcha.
What I've been
That's
better
what,
off.
no,
So on a
you're
7?
doing exactly what you need to do
So on a
against
7?
an army like that. Go
So
play,
this goes
play
off on a
objectives.
9.
Play objectives. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's...
So, if you don't unbind this, it went off on a 9. I'm going to choose this unit, and on 5-ups for every model in the unit, it's going to deal 1 mortal wound. So 18.
So Cody would need to roll a 9 to unbind it. if he's got a sorcerer in the area.
He's gonna try before you.
Yeah, he's actually needs a 10. I rolled a 9.
Oh, so yeah, he'll need a 10 to unbind. That is the opposite of an unbind.
No, that'd be great. Can I spend the command point and reroll mine? 5 up on the chain rest.
And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
7, 8 mortals to your chain rest.
on a 5
By
up,
my
your
play
or
cards in the center.
Looks like we got a game that wrapped up over here. So it looks like Jason and Azich took this one.
On a 6 up, he's gonna do the dreaded skitter leap.
I don't even know.
Not overly surprising. Moon Clan is just, they're a ridiculously fun army to play, but I'm not sure that they're the most competitive army out there.
He's a very new player. I know when they asked me how many dice do you roll for magic,
Ah.
I was like, yeah, this is going to be a one-sided game.
They're gonna cast their spell on a 6 up, they get +1 to hit. On a 9. Same thing down here. Actually. Yeah, so 6 up? Nope. So we're gonna +1 to hit.
Well, that and movement. Movement isn't, this gives all that skill. Because you can outmaneuver me.
Yeah. But it's the shooting. It's a heavy shooting army that will
Right, that's one offensive.
cause you a lot of.
You're able to, plus you're playing the first round. That was a good chance to beat me. Right, get my back line.
Yeah, the mission was a
Until my next hero phase, at the end of each phase of a turn, roll a die for that assault phase. On a 6, you suffer
You could have, potentially, you could have easily killed my baby one and my, you win.
nowadays all of the spells I have.
Oh, that's why I was
Don't change my
All right, so it looks like Chaos has gone through its hero phase.
which is great.
Didn't see a lot of action in the hero phase this time.
It's all learning experience for everybody.
Didn't hand out mortal wounds by the bucketful like he did last time.
Alright. Shooting phase. Are we done moving? Yep. Yeah, we're done. Alright. So into the movement phase, I'm gonna try and summon from the Gaunt Summoner. So I need a 10 up and I'll get a unit of pink horrors.
So if he gets a 10 on his summon here, he'll get another unit of pink horrors there from the middle.
Yep, that's an 11.
So he does get an 11, so he gets a squad of 10 pink horrors in the middle there.
What's giving you your extra dice? Because like most spells.
No, it's not a spell. It's an allegiance ability. I just get a level 3. Yeah, that's
I didn't know if there's.
No, you're good, brother. No, I know. It's kind of,
Yeah,
you don't see a lot.
0 for his pink horse. He pays 0. They just come out.
Is that good?
He has 2 characters which cast automatically for free, and every other turn he has a good chance of casting.
He's not in the first round.
Oh, okay.
To be fair, I'm getting my ass beat over here.
Not, you're spawning so many. I'm not gonna be able to do it.
Oh, you're so far up ahead though. You win the turn, you're in a good spot, brother.
That's how spawn. That's how summoning goes though. Like I do well, but
All right.
I lose some. And
So, shooting phase 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 32, 35, 38 shots into these guys.
So the pink horrors are shooting 38 shots into the chain, or the blade rasps.
15.
you guys right?
Yeah, 30.
Do they at least hit my number?
Yeah, 5. Because these ones got the +1 to hit off, but those ones did. So 5.
So looking for 5s.
I don't even know who it is.
And force to wound.
No. It can move if the swan that's on top of it uses his ability to move himself across the board. It can move this way.
If he teleports?
Yes.
Okay.
He can teleport himself. That's the only way that and if a gray seer from Skaven uses their skitter lead.
So 8 wounds.
Otherwise, once the better veil goes up, it stays immobile.
And 2 saved.
6 go through?
So
Those
6
are the only 2 ways
wounds.
to get it to move.
No, there's a complicated thing. You can actually dispel it.
Well,
6 inches forward. And you
yeah,
can pass it.
but it's without doing that.
So, I know the cheese
Then-
gets moved. You can't.
Yeah.
We got.
Aside from that,
Enter the movement phase. Oh, I'm sorry. How many wounds did your
So 30 shots from that unit. 5, 10.
Is the throne technically supposed to be up there?
So the other group of pink horrors, the ones with the +1 to hit, are going to attack.
So these are hitting on 4s.
These don't get protection effects, right? Or do they?
I'm sorry? No. They could shoot at something if they were within 12 of it. I don't think I am though. So 4s? I don't think they are. I don't think I tried not to. Alright, so 4s and 4s.
I'm doing my own honeydew list, basically, which is all.
He's doing what's
the best guy.
He's summoned his people.
Okay, there's something in my eye.
Alright, so we got
We're not part of his drop.
9 on these bros right here, the chain right here. Alright, 9 wounds. No rend. Well, it doesn't matter if I have rend or not. Four won't save. 5 have some chain So 5 go through.
Yep, 5 go through.
So it looks like he loses 5 of his chain rasps to pink horror shooting.
He's got the Doom Star. Hits on a 3. Wounds on a 3. Wounds. And if he goes through,
How
he's
come I'm not
damage.
attacking back?
this is shooting.
Oh, okay, just
Yeah, he's still shooting.
So he's got a shooting attack on the
I got
Morn Goal
shooting
over
here,
there.
Shooting here.
I forget that. There's not a lot of shooting in AOS.
Right.
So he's got 1 attack that went through on the Morn Goal.
So, yeah, 1 is going through. If he goes through, it's D3 damage.
Yeah, so it takes D3.
No, I made it.
Oh, you made it? Okay.
Oh, okay.
And then he's got 4 attacks. Or no, it might be less.
Hello, Ray.
Is that what it was?
How you doing, my dude? Good. Long time no talk. Except over.
Taking 4, so he's got 3 prehensile attacks. 3s. 3s.
You're lucky you get to hang out, man.
2. 2 and there's 1 damage.
You get to come play on a. You get to play on a Tuesday.
Ayo.
It's all one piece.
And then we got
So there is a part that
2 prehensile attacks from him, and we'll put it into the
or it's got a little
Morn Goal here.
So now we've moved on from shooting into...
No, it's still.
Oh, nope, still shooting. Never mind.
So 1 damage. Ayo. Alright,
Saved it there again. So the Morn Goals have proved a little resilient here.
6 on him. So we're charging on Gaunt.
So it looks like his summoner guy is charging in. So the chain rasps in the middle.
And we're
He
going.
might get that back. If he's on it, he doesn't actually. You're not actually playing it back, right? With me sitting on it too.
Right, until he
I
knocks
get
you
one
off.
guy
More, as long as he has more guys at the end
You
of
only
the
have
turn.
one right now. So.
Correct. So he needs a 9-inch charge to get into this Morn Goal.
Now Kairos is going to charge him Morn Goal. He rolls an 8, needed a 9, so not going to make it.
Does that
But he is going to drop down and attack those chain rasps.
So, combat. So, I'm going to take the Corruptor first. This guy.
So yeah, we're fighting in the lava fort again.
I'm going to spend my one command point, and his command ability is to re-roll his attacks. Doesn't matter if they hit, miss, he can re-roll. So, in 5-0 suit,
Reroll them all.
yeah. I can re-roll any ones that I want to. So 5-ups are D3 mortals and 6s are D3 plus 1. We're all going into the mortal. So these are going to be sequence enders, and I'm re-rolling these 4. So these are going to be D3, and these are D3 plus 1. So this one hits regularly. So it hits, and it's just 1 damage. So
So it looks like he's going to start dealing out a handful of mortal wounds here.
So these are D3 mortals each.
So these deal D3.
So that's 5 mortals.
So 5
and these
mortals
are D3
there.
plus 1 each. So we're at 8 mortals so far plus these D3s. So 11 mortals, 12, 13, 14 mortals.
So 14 mortal wounds to the Morngol.
Yeah.
So that kills the Morngol. That was a bucket full of mortal wounds dealt out to that Morngol.
That's why it's so devastating when he missed that last attack. I was like, no! Alright.
And so now Cody's attacking with his last Morngol. It's a mano-a-mano fight over there for that objective. So Cody rolled 3 6s on that, so he's going to deal out 6 mortals to start with.
So 5 ups. And 6 ups.
So he takes 4 mortal wounds. And he's got 1 regular attack that goes through.
So it's still 2 damage. Yeah. So 5 ups against that. Nope. And then 5 ups. Nope. And 6 ups.
And the 2 wounds there go through. So he's down to 2 wounds. So the Morngol almost took out the other one.
Alright. We'll take our pile in here.
And so those chain rasps may be in trouble there in the center of the board. But even if Cody has to cede the middle of the board, Jason has just not made enough of a comeback on the other objectives to take the points lead. So this may actually come down to the very late turns.
2 attacks. Yeah, I missed them all. Push a play there. So 11 attacks. And who is those into?
The plague bearers.
Okay.
So 3 attacks into the plague bearers.
So 5 ups. Take 1 and 5 ups. So 1 more and 6 ups.
So 1 plague bearer dies.
I'll take Kairos into them.
So now Kairos is going to fight the chain rasps.
So 3 attacks, 3s and 1s, but 2s because one's always good.
Or the vampire dragon dies.
So 2 and these will be 2 damage each if they go through to the chain.
So 2 attacks, doing 2 damage each.
And then he's got 5 attacks with the beaks and claws, 4s.
It'll be interesting. I'll be back.
So hit 3 of them. 3s. 1 goes through, and that'll be 2 damage if it goes through. It does, so 2 more damage.
I still have one guy on this objective, not yours. Or I guess
No, it is. I got 3 guys, yeah.
So Cody does end up losing the middle objective, but like I said, with a substantial point lead that he gained in the early turns, he still has a chance.
Yeah, you absolutely can always pile in, man.
And with the Spirit Host,
You should be able to
if they can take those last couple wounds off of the Deceiver, he'll have that objective even more. He still holds that objective, but clearing the Deceiver off of it would give him only the pink horrors to deal with, and that would be a large deal. Yeah, if Chaos doesn't win the initiative here, there's no real chance of him to deal with it.
Imperial Javelin.
And we got some bolt action dice rolling around the table. So if you see a Starburst or a Rising Sun or a Swastika, that is why. We also have some airborne dice on here. Do not report my channel for having swastikas on it. It literally is for historical dice.
No, it's because you're 7, you said?
Looks like 7, 8, 6 ups.
8? Okay. So 5 ups? 2 and 5 ups.
2 more, so 4 go through.
And that kills the Deceiver. So this is a really big point swing for Cody on this flank. So that almost secures him this flank, because the pink horrors just don't have what it takes to get it.
We got the Deceiver in the So 6 attacks, hits on 3s, 4s because it's next to the Morgul. What? 3s? Ugh!
And the Deceiver on that side just whiffs.
Alright. Got Battle Shock here and Battle Shock here.
So let's see if Cody can survive Battle Shock.
We're at 10. Okay, yeah, he's gone. And so then you need to roll these guys. They lost 7, so 3 ups, they're running.
So he needs a really good roll. He needs to roll a 1 on this Battle Shock test, otherwise he is going to be decimated. Oh, he rolls a 1, so he passes Battle Shock. So those Blade guys are really holding on.
I'll retain this one for 1, and then 2, 3. So up to 5.
So Jason gets 3 points. So that takes him up to 5 points for this round. So
Yeah, that helped me quite a bit.
So Jason picks it up and go to 5 points, but he lost the initiative. So with turns remaining, Jason would just not be able to make a comeback. Even if he wiped Cody off the table, he just would not be able to score enough points to win. So Jason has gone ahead and conceded the match to Cody. So that brings Cody undefeated, 2-0. That was a great game. It had lots of swings. I hope you enjoyed watching.